Are you a lifelong fan of General Hospital?
Are you a new fan who wants to know more about the history of the show?
Do you enjoy talking about the show with others?
Do you find yourself yelling at the TV?
Is your self-care an hour a day in Port Charles?
If so, we invite you to join hosts
Amanda Kimmel
and Shannon Coach at the place where all the hidden conversations take place and secrets are revealed.
Meet us at Pier 54,
the podcast. Hi.
Hi.
Welcome to the September 30th through October 4th recap of General Hospital. But yeah, so I have a quick correction before we...
Dun, dun, dun. What did we mess up?
Elizabeth did go blind.
Really?
Courtney hit her with a car. So thank you, Katie00901 on Twitter. Elizabeth was temporarily blinded when Courtney and Jason thought Courtney ran her down with the car unintentionally. And then we just started talking about how much we like General Hospital history and how much we miss SoapNet and all of that. So thank you for reminding us. That's what we look forward to.
Exactly. I totally missed that. And whenever you read it, like I had said, it said, did she see shadows then? Is that why?
She wound up, she was in the hospital.
Okay.
And so you can go on YouTube and find it.
Of course you can.
Of course you can.
But how she hooked up with Xander. That was what led us into her hooking up with Xander.
But in that paragraph, they made it sound like one had to do with the other. And it didn't.
Oh, okay. Okay, that makes more sense then. Because, it said she couldn't see, and then she hooked up with Xander because of that. Got it. Well, that's awesome. Thanks for hooking us up with that correction.
Absolutely. I mean, and as much as we try to remember, and we do remember a lot.
I have way too much General Hospital information in my brain.
We're going to forget stuff.
But I'm glad I don't remember all of it, because that would mean we're dedicating a little too much time.
And she did it in my favorite way. She just let us know. Right. Nothing nasty about, oh my gosh, blah, 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 blah.
Yeah.
Which thankfully we have not had happen yet.
We have been very lucky where everyone seems to be very respectful.
Yes.
So that's awesome. Yeah.
We have our gripes. But we do it in jest.
Yes.
We're never...
Right.
We're not about Lulu.
Right. It's never meant to be mean-spirited. It's just some stuff gets on our nerves.
Yeah. So. Right. But yeah, that was just a quick little...
I completely forgot about that.
And if you have no idea what we're talking about, go back and listen to last Thursday's Port Charles 411.
Yes.
Part 1 about Elizabeth Weber.
Perfect.
And we'll be doing part 2 on Thursday.
Yes.
So with that said...
Weekly recap.
Ready to get into it this week? Why did Wes cut his hair?
All the stuff that
I want to objectify him for just 5 seconds.
All that happened this week, and that's your first. Okay.
I didn't write anything down until Wednesday, and that was the first thing. I'm like, why did he cut his hair?
I'm assuming he thought he needed a haircut.
Oh, I hope it was for a role.
Oh, maybe. He has been in all this extra.
Yeah. So, yay.
I'm sorry that he cut his hair.
He has such nice hair.
He did.
So what was your first thing that you wrote about if it was not Wes Ramsey's hair?
It was not his hair. My first was Nell and Jocelyn. And how is she out on, I guess it's not work release, but it is work release.
Yeah.
Cleanup crew or whatever.
She's manipulative. She's good.
I don't believe she's that good. I think they would have to know not to leave her out and about. And the guard's just like, sure, go ahead and talk to that young lady.
That's the one that I told you about. The one that I gave my kidney to.
Yes. I saved her life. Let me go talk to her. You could tell instantly Jocelyn didn't want to talk to her. So why is the guard like, sure, let's go ahead.
And she's a child.
Mm-hmm.
So there was a lot of things wrong with that.
There was a lot of things wrong with that. I mean, I got the reason for the interaction, and that was good. I didn't like the way that worked.
No, I agree. So I have a question. That place where Lulu and Laura were having coffee, and then Kevin came to meet them, where is that? Because we see it all the time, but
there's never a name. Right.
Because there's stacks, and, at first I thought, maybe it's Laura's kitchen. But then you see, I mean, it's definitely like shelves. Yeah.
Yeah, because they've had other people have coffee there.
Right.
I have no idea.
Curtis and Drew. We're probably not. So,
yeah, I don't know.
Where is it?
I don't know.
Is it Corinthos Coffee on the pier? Because remember how when Christina was running? But then I feel like we'd be seeing Corinthos Coffee, at least the symbol.
Right.
On a...
No, I think that's just supposed to be like a random coffee house, but I don't know. I don't know where it is.
Better not let Sunny find out.
That's right. They have a lot of coffee places. Like to go to Kelly's and then have that place and then Corinthos. There's a lot of coffee.
They're well caffeinated. What can I say?
Yes.
Who goes to a spa in full makeup?
Are you talking about the bachelorette party?
The bachelorette
Or are you talking about Chase and Willow?
Chase and Willow is totally understandable because he was surprising her she was coming from work.
And if I was going somewhere with my man, I would have makeup on.
Yes.
The bachelorette party, I feel like you wouldn't go to a spa. You wouldn't go to a steam room spa party and then out to a fancy dinner.
Right.
You would have done dinner first.
Right.
No
and then
what.
gone and relaxed.
Mm-hmm.
Or you would have done the spa first thing in the morning and then relaxed into lunch, dinner.
Right.
Yeah.
Yeah, full makeup and then the spa. It would have been all yucky by then. You couldn't go to... You're right. I don't know.
It's crazy.
It is. I also thought that was crazy that the spa only had one steam room and it double booked them and you wouldn't have the bigger party leave. I know that it would make one customer unhappy, but you would pick the 2-person party, not the 8-person party, because you're obviously going to make more money.
And not just that. I mean, you go by who booked it first.
True.
You know, and I imagine
the bachelorette
Chase was
party.
Kind of a last minute.
Right.
Not last minute, but at least.
But they said they were celebrating Shiloh dying, so that was obviously a last minute decision.
Yeah, no. I was not a fan of how Maxie continued to yell at the woman. At first, it was totally Maxie.
Right.
But then she continued. Mm-hmm. And it was just like, oh, that was obnoxious, you know?
It was obnoxious. And even Nina was obnoxious with her. It's my bachelorette party. And then throw in comments about Charlotte has a teacher that she likes now, blah, blah, blah. Like, grow up.
I know. And Charlotte loves her new teacher. Great. Okay.
That still has nothing to do with the circumstances we're in right now. So goodbye. Mm-hmm. And then they had even mentioned they were going to be late for the reservation. So why are you throwing a hissy fit for something you don't even want at this point anyway?
Right.
So
I thought it was really nice that Valentine did thank the guys for coming and acknowledge the fact that none of them wanted to be there.
Thank you for coming to my party that Peter had to twist your arm to show up for.
I know.
That was funny. That was funny. I liked the way that Michael threatened Valentine whenever he said, you know, I protect my people, so Sasha... He didn't say Sasha needs to watch out, but basically, if Sasha exposes the secret, she's going to be in big trouble. Yeah. And Michael instantly went to, the Corinthos family really values that too.
Yep.
And he said it just like Michael would. It wasn't nasty. It was just very clear cut of don't mess with her, man. Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
So
no, absolutely.
I like when he does that, when he uses his name, his family name's power, but isn't like a bad guy.
Right. Right. He wants people to realize if he really wanted to.
Oh, exactly.
He could really, you know.
Yeah.
He could do some damage if he really wanted to. So I did like that he actually showed Ava a little grace and was like, if you really want to spend time with Avery tomorrow. I know he said it in kind of a snarky way, but he was saying it in a, seriously, don't be drunk.
Right.
You know, don't be hungover. Don't get drunk. Or you won't see her.
Exactly.
So I like how she said that she was looking for a well-lubricated bout of amnesia.
Yes.
That was good.
I don't understand why she's so upset. It seemed like she was more upset after Michael told her about the baby being born. And that was whenever she went into the bathroom and cut her hand and blah, blah, blah. Mm-hmm. Why is she so upset that Sonny's having another child with someone?
I wonder if it's just because he had another little girl. And so he gets another daughter. She doesn't.
Maybe.
She doesn't get to see her daughter with him as much as she wants to. Stuff like that. Avery's going to have a little sister that she's going to be all over. That
maybe. It felt to me like the way she was portraying it was more that angry ex anger. And that confuses me because, for example, if my ex went on to have another baby with somebody, I would be angry because I have the kids and that's that. But if it was a oops baby, which Avery obviously was, she never wanted Sonny. That was just a...
Yeah. I don't know.
Oops. So,
interesting.
I don't know. The vibe was off to me for that. I get being upset, but not the way it felt. Mm-hmm. Maybe I'm the only one that got that vibe.
No. I felt that, but I just wasn't entirely sure either why. Okay. But it was just, I mean, if she was already...
Right. She had already been drinking, so stuff makes you sad or easier then. Right.
But the Bachelor and Bachelorette party was fun.
It was.
You know, I think that, so... This is an unpaid plug. That song is on James Patrick Stewart's new CD this week that was released. Are they still CDs or is it just an album? Okay. Anyway,
it was his new digital download.
I know. I don't think it's even a CD. I don't know. But it's The Apple Tree, and he does a lot of, I don't want to say older songs, but more songs in that style.
Okay.
So the more, not soft rock, whatever it is, that I like it.
I really liked the new Nina's reaction to that song.
Yeah.
That felt very authentic. She played that better, in my opinion, than the old Nina would have. And I thought it was hysterical that she gave Liesl a karaoke machine as her bridal present.
Yeah, that was funny. I don't know if Sasha's going to tell her.
I don't know. I would be torn too. I mean, that is a really hard decision now that she's come to care about her.
Mm-hmm.
I also don't like, now that Lulu found out about it, how back and forth she was about it.
I get it though, because she wants to, but she is checking herself to see what my motive is behind my saying it. Is it because I want to cause pain, or is it because if I were in her shoes, I want to know?
Right.
And she stopped herself from. I loved watching her feet rise off the floor. That was so funny.
And then the second the conversation was done, you saw him go whoop back down again.
Has to be writing new from Lulu. Yeah. Whoever it is, thank you.
Yes. No, I like her personality way better now.
Mm-hmm.
But just that conflict, I understand you'd be conflicted. But the way that she was, I have to say something to you, like right now to Valentine, and then she backed down. And then she went to say something to him again the next day at the church, and then she backed down. And then she was like, well, I have to wait for Nina. And then you could see her back down again. And then when Charlotte spoke to her, right before that, when Charlotte spoke to her, it was like, oh, that was a light bulb moment. And it was like, girlfriend, you have the information. If you want to share it before the wedding, now's the time. Right. If you don't, then just let it go. But you're dwelling on it way too much for.
But then I wonder if she thought about not doing it because, I mean, Nina invited her to get her pictures done early with Charlotte. That was very sweet.
That was very sweet.
Totally out of character.
Mm-hmm.
You know, it was a very good co-parenting moment.
It was.
The other thing is, this is their second marriage. And not just in general, but to each other.
Mm-hmm.
We are doing way too much.
They are.
For this.
Yes,
again. You know,
I agree. But there's no such thing as a small soap wedding, though. So I guess they have to make it a big deal all over again. But I agree with you. For a second, third wedding, let's just go to the courthouse, go to Vegas, go to... Not that it's not special. You just don't need all that hoopla. And especially for marrying the same person again, like you said.
Yeah. Second wedding, I think you should have.
And is Charlotte going to have a different dress? Because on that note, everyone else is like all done up. Charlotte's dress was just like a normal dress.
I don't remember what her dress was.
Oh, I'll have to see if I can get a picture for you because you should. I would think you'll agree with me that it's not fancy.
I imagine that. I mean, she's still a child, so maybe they're waiting until last minute.
That's what I was thinking.
Because if Epiphany takes her out for ice cream,
very true. I just thought the way they made that sound. Like they were done at the hotel, and then she was going off to the wedding, and Maxie was making sure, to run through the checklist, everything was done.
Mm-hmm.
That it was done, and that outfit just was not good, or not good enough for a wedding.
So while you're looking up that, I really enjoy Jackson and Liesl. I want them to become friends.
I thought you were going to say you want them to become a couple, and I was going to be like, what are you talking about?
I just want them to stay friends how they are, enjoying each other's company, enjoying each other's, driving Valentine crazy, and that's it. So when he was speaking German to her, he did say, we'll catch up tomorrow. Maybe you'll save me a dance. And then she said, I will pay the student. But I don't know what that means.
I will pay.
I don't know.
Are you sure it wasn't play the student?
Maybe.
Like he's going to lead the dance?
Maybe. That makes more sense. Google Translate's also a mess sometimes.
Why does my phone hate your basement?
I don't know.
There.
Oh, that looks fancy. She has lace.
No, not what I pictured. It's just kind of, I mean, it's not awful.
I think that's her dress, though, because it has the lace. If it was just a solid, I would totally agree and say, yeah, she's probably changing into something. But
being the flower girl and the fact that she's so excited for that wedding, I envisioned her in a princess dress. Traditional flower girl dress.
Yeah.
Not just.
But she's also older.
I'd make my kid wear a traditional flower girl dress.
I did think it was funny when Valentine told Lulu to go home, you're drunk. We're back to the bachelorette party.
You're drunk. They told her she was drunk a couple times. And she was like,
I'm not.
I think I'm just tired. And I was like, that's not any better because you ramble more when you're drunk than when you are sleepy.
Where did Dustin come from at the bachelorette party, though?
He just walked in at the end.
There's something up with that dude.
There is something up with that
And then he invited himself to the wedding. You do not do that the day before.
No, you don't.
Horrible, horrible, horrible etiquette.
Yes, on both their parts, because she should have said, I already RSVP'd for one. Not going to work.
Oh, I didn't even get told I could have a +1?
True.
I mean,
I don't know.
There's all those things. And if you do RSVP with a +1 and the +1 winds up not going, it's really only polite to cover the portion that they at least make a gesture. Maybe not straight up ask for the amount, but at least say, I'm so sorry that they weren't able to come. I know that you probably paid X amount of dollars for them to be here. I would like to cover. And if the bride and groom say no, don't worry about it, then no, don't worry about it. But they're going to still remember it 8 years later.
Oh, yeah.
That you didn't.
We had so many people not show up when I got married, and I was so mad. It was such a waste of money.
We had one person who we had not extended a +1 to, asked if they could do a +1, and then they didn't come. And then a year later, got a card with $20 in it.
Oh my gosh. Wow.
Yep.
Wow. Now, my ex invited, I swear, anyone that he had ever met before. And so I think I had 2 tables of people that were my family and friends, and all of the rest were his. And we had like 200 people. All of the rest were his. And it was like an entire table of like 8 or 10 people that didn't show up. And I was like, your friends suck. This is awful. And we did not get a card, even with $20 in it later. So be happy for your $20.
Yeah, it was great.
So, yeah, that was rude. And just the fact that he would invite himself at all. Yeah. We don't know each other well enough. I know they hooked up last week, but we still don't know each other well enough that you're really providing comfort at this moment for me. So that was just wrong. His vibe is all off, but I still don't know what he is. Oh, that's what we found out this week, that chick is Kiefer's sister.
Told you.
So, I mean, we speculated, but yeah. They're not very slick with that, though. That whole conversation was Kiefer, and then she turns the corner and is like, hey, let's do our run today, or whatever.
Yeah. Oh, how smart of you to read the label. Oh, it's all in a different language? Okay. Alexis, you are so much smarter than that.
Yes.
I mean, I know that you trust the girl, whatever, but when you see ingredients written in a foreign language on a bottle handed to you by basically a stranger.
Exactly. And strangers don't. A big thing of a supplement like that had to be at least $50, if not more.
Oh, gosh, yeah.
A stranger isn't like, here, take my $50 product. They tell you the name of it and where you can purchase it, and that's the end of it.
Unless it's included in her regimen package or whatever, that because she's a holistic nutritionist, whatever.
She is, but I feel like you wouldn't introduce a supplement like that. Oh, since you're suddenly so healthy, here, I brought this big thing.
Yeah. Oh,
and then open it up and have some with you. Like,
yeah,
don't steal a cup of that.
Take a sip.
If I paid for it, don't take any of it because I'm going to be mad.
Oh, yeah, that's a good point.
It was like sharing. So, yeah. But I was excited that we finally found out for sure that she was Kiefer related, not Donna Day related. They could be intermixed. But
I was going to say, I bet that they are.
You think?
I don't know. Some of them wind up being in the weirdest way.
They are. So. We didn't see that nurse again that ratted Santa.
Although that whole thing this week, it's just dumb.
It is dumb. It wouldn't change based on hearsay. And then you magically get a recording.
Yeah.
No. Nope.
I don't know.
And was the recording from Daisy? Did they confirm it was from Daisy?
Didn't Jason say it was from her initiation and it was spliced together or something like that?
Maybe. I don't know. I know they tossed Daisy's name around, and I was thinking we should
got it from Daisy.
No, we're not going to trust that.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Because Diane said she gave her trust fund to exonerate him.
Right.
So, but I mean, that's really all that I have about like the weddings and everything. When Hayden was thinking that she was telling Finn.
Yes. Is that
I don't know.
Or a hate?
I don't like his reaction. He's not going to react that way.
No, he's not going to react.
He's going to flip out on her.
He is.
He's going to be like, you lied to me.
He has every right to flip out on her, especially because she continues lying. He straight up heard you on the phone, and you're, oh, it's my dog. Okay.
Honey bun.
Yeah.
There's people on Twitter being like, I bet the baby's name is Huckleberry, and it'll be Huckleberry Finn. That was funny.
That is funny.
But yeah, it's just...
But there was nothing wrong with the new baby.
No. She has spina bifida.
She does.
They fixed the membrane and were able to sew up her spine.
Right.
So I have a slight issue with this whole thing. That, like, I really thought of it. Not an issue, but they're saying that, they're going to have to watch her in the NICU and that they're going to have to, she's still going to have struggles and everything. I really do hope that this child has a physical handicap.
Me too.
Because physical and intellectual disabilities are, other than Mike with Alzheimer's now, but as an adult, which is like age onset and everything, there's no one on the show other than Chet also has a prosthetic.
Right.
And he got his from war. So, and it absolutely is the same thing. You can become physically disabled by a multitude of ways. But they should have it on the show where they see them raising a child that is going to have potential physical limitations.
Yes.
And show that, they have, like, we go back to, we want Finn to be Asperger's.
Yes.
Please bring back Roxy with those dogs or whatever that he was talking about that this week about, they were talking something about pets or something. I forget when it was. And I was like, well, yeah, Roxy. I forget what it was.
I don't know what they were referring. Like,
it was either last week. No.
Or just pets in general. Because
he was recently talking about animals with somebody. And I'm like, well, you have Roxy. And I can't remember when it was. I didn't write it down. It might not have been this week.
It wasn't part of asking Hayden about hers.
I don't remember. I really don't remember.
Huh. I didn't catch it.
But even still, when he got Anna, we forgot about Roxy.
Yes.
That's not how that works.
No.
At all.
Mm-mm.
And
yeah, I agree. I hope that she has some limitations. I understand them not wanting to make her the worst case scenario because that would be hard to handle in the storyline. But to say she's perfect now with no limitations at all is just completely unrealistic.
Absolutely. And they have dabbled a little bit, like AJ had anxiety, a ton of people have had PTSD.
Yes.
But they all get quote unquote better. And it's never an issue again.
Right. They don't show them, except for Sunny, they don't show, we have to go for a med check. We have to go for our therapy. We have to go for any kind of care for it. So it would be nice to follow along, starting from birth on up to these are the type of appointments we have to keep.
Well, especially with Willow, I mean, they could also be dealing with learning disabilities with the kids.
Yes.
Things like that. Because you're right, Sunny does a great job of like the mental health. Because bipolar isn't learning or intellectual disability.
Right.
So, but like just those three things, they really just need to.
I agree. I hope they keep her.
I mean, I have a friend that has spina bifida and he walked with crutches forever. Guess what? He can drive a car. Right. He works. Like, he has a life.
Yes.
He just
we
has
talked about
adaptations.
That when they told us the diagnosis.
Yep.
Diagnosis.
So it's not a death sentence. It's not. It is what it is, you know, and got to start breaking these stigmas around differences. So
I love how much that baby looks like Sunny. That is the cutest baby.
So you know that they named it Donna after the makeup artist that passed away.
I do know that, and I think that's amazing and awesome and wonderful. But I also noticed they have never used a baby's name as much as they used her name this week. When they, like, for example, would have had Avery, they were like, the baby, blah, 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 the baby. Right. And then throw Avery in every 20th time or whatever. This week with Donna, every time they mentioned her, they're like, we have to go see Donna. We have to check on Donna. We have to. And it was kind of funny. Again, I love that they're trying to pay tribute to her, and that's awesome. But just the difference there, it was like, okay, yes, we know it's Baby Donna. Right. That's the one you're going to go see.
And then her middle name's Courtney.
Yes, that was sweet. Super sweet. Super sweet.
And that was Mike's surprise.
Yes.
I loved that. I'm trying to pull up the art.
And it was cute that he remembered Donna from back when.
Yes.
Because that was what he had said to Sunny.
So the Inquisitor wrote an article about Carly and Sunny's baby is born. General Hospital writers pay tribute to beloved crew member Donna Messina. And it just says that after a difficult pregnancy, Carly and Sunny Corinthos finally met their new baby girl. And everyone's been buzzing over the baby's arrival and name. They noted that they had already decided on a name and they were going to keep it to themselves. And then they gushed over the new baby girl and decided to name her Donna. And General Hospital fans immediately took to Twitter to discuss the name choice. Some viewers thought it was odd, but others knew how the name was chosen. As soon as they said it, I knew exactly. I was like, that's the makeup artist. Mm-hmm. So she was someone beloved by the cast and crew for many decades. Fans who closely follow the show may remember that the cast was heartbroken over the death of a treasured member last year. makeup artist Donna Messina passed away in December 2018 after a battle with cancer. And she was with the General Hospital family from 1983.
Oh my gosh.
To 2018.
Wow.
And after Donna's death, executive producer Frank Valentini revealed a new bench at the studio, one bearing a plaque noting Messina's connection to the show. Apparently, the bench sits in the spot where Donna usually took her breaks.
Aww.
So that's great.
That's super nice. I didn't realize she had been there that long.
Mm-hmm.
Wow.
Yeah.
That's crazy.
That's
amazing.
That's really nice that they pay tribute in that little way.
I do. I love the way that they try to honor people who have passed on.
Yeah.
That's awesome. And that baby's so cute.
Mm-hmm.
She's so cute.
She really is.
I did think it was weird, though, that none of the other kids were there. And then even when she went in for surgery, it was like, Michael has to go to the bachelor party that he'll stop over later. And Jocelyn had homework to do. If your mom just had a baby or was having a baby, wouldn't you be there no matter what age you were?
I wasn't.
No?
I didn't meet my sisters until they came home from the hospital, I think.
Really?
Yeah.
Well, that's weird.
Well, I'm sorry. I couldn't drive. I was 9 or 10. When my baby was born, like my baby sister was born.
Yes. I
remember getting off the school bus and my cousin was over babysitting us. And so like we knew that she was going into the hospital to have the baby. Mm-hmm. And when I got off the bus, she gave us pink blow pops because we had a sister.
That's cute.
But yeah, we didn't go to the hospital. I don't know. They didn't take us to see her. My son came to see my daughter the day after she was born.
Okay.
I don't know.
See, my kids came. I guess that was just the way it worked, that my mother-in-law at the time thought that was important and liked that idea and stuff. So
ask if your siblings came when you were born, because you're the baby, so you didn't go.
Right, I am the baby. They probably came to the hospital later. I was C-section, and it was like 10 o'clock in the morning. So they were probably in school and then came later. But when my oldest daughter was born, my mother-in-law brought my son. Mm-hmm. And then when Megan was born, she brought both of them. And then when Madeline was born, she brought all of them. Yeah, they came to the hospital.
You need to find out if your mom if someone brought your siblings when you were born.
I will ask. She better have. If not, I will be insulted.
But like you said,
everyone
it's a different time.
should have arrived to come and see me.
But it's a different time. I mean, there was a period of time where dads weren't even allowed in the delivery room.
Well, that's true. So, that's true.
I did think that it was interesting that Joss fessed up to Jax.
Yes.
Do you think he's going to flip out on Carly and Sonny, or if he's just going to let it go?
I think now that he knows everything, he's going to investigate a little bit more to make sure that it's not super shady. Mm-hmm. But once he sees that it really isn't anything, I mean, I know you obviously shouldn't break the rules, but Dev himself isn't a threat, then he's going to let it go.
Yeah, good.
Is that you?
I hope so too. Because Joss said, like, it's good for me for him to be here. I liked it.
Right,
I was just not happy that she said anything.
I thought that was weird timing for her to say something.
Yeah.
But I don't know. I think we got it all. Oh, Jason giving the book about Africa.
I was going to say that. Yes. I forgot about that.
That was
Thank you.
Super sweet.
So sweet.
That was super sweet.
Very, very nice.
And he was like, that was the first book that Michael ever had. And that was very, very sweet.
Yes.
Yeah, no, that's all I got. It was a good week. It was interesting. It wasn't too crazy, but it was interesting and kind of kept you moving along.
That's exactly it, though. It moved.
It did. Oh, Kevin and Laura.
Oh.
How did they figure that out?
Hold on.
I'm glad they figured it out, but how did they figure that out from that one picture?
Let's go back to this.
Go ahead.
I am a nerd.
Oh, I'm sure you are. Go ahead. Educate us on
Corona Veritum isn't a thing.
Okay.
I could not find it referenced other than General Hospital, and I went to like page 3 and 4 on Google.
But I feel like you should have known it wasn't a real thing because its coordinates were over Spoon Island. And where's Spoon Island in real life?
Okay, but there's the 5 North Circumpolar constellations that are constantly always rotating, and you can pretty much see them most of the year.
Such a geek.
I am. Yes. Because you know what? I love astronomy. So I was kind of super geeked when they started talking about it. We had a planetarium in my high school, and I took like an astronomy class, and I may have broken the curve for a lot of it.
Your poor
Love it.
classmates. That's all I can say.
But then one of the first things that JD and I did when we first started dating was we watched the HBO series From the Earth to the Moon.
Wow.
Night after night after night after night. Yep, it was great. Anyway, the Corona Borealis is the northern crown in Latin, and the Corona Australis is Greek for the southern crown.
Oh.
So it would have made more sense with the Greek because,
yes,
you know.
But the coordinates wouldn't have matched. Then.
Is that the necklace, though, that Valentine gave Nina?
Oh, I don't know. I didn't even think of that.
I think it is.
Wow. Your mind went somewhere, mine totally different.
Well, and then Laura's like, but look at some of the gems sparkle and some of them don't. I'm like, that's a painting.
Yeah.
That's not all gems sparkle at the same time. That's why they sparkle.
Yes. I agreed. That's what I'm saying.
That's
glad that they're making the connection because, again, obviously we're trying to move the storyline along. But I don't get how you got all that from looking at a painting.
No.
Even with his advanced, he knows stuff.
I liked how he went from admitting that he's an armchair cryptologist, which is fine, fair enough, but then he suddenly became a cryptologist and an avid astronomer.
Of course.
And it's...
Kevin knows all.
Yeah.
So, but besides that, no, I have nothing. I'm good now. All my notes are cleared.
Leaves us just with one thing.
Reality check. I feel like I keep going first. It's your turn to go first. What's your reality check? Dun dun dun.
This week I went to a Friends-themed paint night, like a Friends TV show. That was fun.
I saw your painting. That was very nice.
That was fun. Thanks. I worked really hard.
I feel like if I went to one of those, I still wouldn't be able to paint it.
You've never done one?
I've never done one.
We so are.
I have never done one, and every time I see people's artwork, I'm like, wow, that looks so nice. I don't think mine would look like that. So, yeah, you have a couple of them. You've done a couple.
I think that was my fourth. I did not do that. My aunt did that.
Oh, okay.
That is not me.
Okay.
She did that.
Good.
I have to have someone guiding me.
All right, good.
Yes.
That makes me feel a little bit better.
I think that one had...
She has one in her basement that's butterflies.
Yes.
We like to
and hydrangeas.
People can't see it.
I think that one had the butterflies sketched on it, though.
Okay.
I can't remember, to be honest.
I still feel like I wouldn't be able to do that good of a job. But your friend's one is beautiful.
Thank you. My couch is too big, but it's okay. I am going to accept it.
Okay.
And then on Monday, my family went to go see a speaker. She was born with no arms and no legs, and she did a great description of her life. Her name is Amy Brooks. She's amazing. So the day that she was born, her mom decided she didn't want her. And she wound up being adopted by an amazing family. And she talked about her challenges, but then all the stuff that she can still do. She can sew. And so she talked to my daughter a little bit about sewing.
Oh, how nice.
It was awesome. Last night I learned about another person in the 15% of the people that we talked about a couple weeks ago, that 15% choose to just rely on their ignorance whenever it comes to someone they said something that to the autism community can be taken offensively. And as a friend, I reached out, private messaged.
Did you? Yeah.
Did not comment. Privately had the conversation. She then commented on her own thing with like a snarky, and I know, blah, 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 but I'm just saying blah, 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 blah. And I responded and said, I just wanted to keep this between you and I because I feel like there just might be something I can help you to understand.
Sometimes you're just ignorant to a topic and you don't mean it to be nasty. You just don't know.
And I only know this because of my keeping myself educated and listening to autistic people talk about the way that people talk about them.
Right.
Changing my own language, and at a time I might have said the same thing that she did.
Exactly.
And there is a difference. I'm not going to get into it right now, but there is a difference between has autism and autistic. Mm-hmm. But you want to be person first language, not necessarily. It doesn't matter. They're still person.
Yes.
Then, you don't go, well, she's a brunette.
Right.
No, that's Shannon. She just also happens to have brown hair.
Yes.
Or be a brunette. It's not, well, she's an autistic. No.
Right. No.
That person has a name. Anyway, long story short, she basically told me, she didn't say anything wrong, and I was wrong for being upset by it because her other friends don't have a problem with it.
And then you unfriended her?
Uh-huh.
How did I know that's where that story was going to go?
I do not have enough time in my life.
And once you've taken the time, if you would have said you read her post and then you unfriended her,
and I repeatedly
that would be wrong. Once you've explained it to someone, even if they don't want to agree with you, the correct response back to you is, thank you for telling me your opinion on that. Or thank you for giving me the other side of that. Or something like that.
And I told her all the time, like so many times, I was like, I'm not trying to argue. I'm just trying to educate.
Right.
I'm having coffee with someone on Tuesday who I had the same exact conversation with because she posted, she sells a product that we have talked about many times. So if you sell a product and you think that it could help someone with autism, don't put that in your pitch.
Right. And there's a difference between helps with the symptoms of anything and cures. Those are two completely different sentences. Yep. There's a ton of products that I'm sure help with, they do not cure it.
Not all, though.
No, not all. But that's what I mean, is you have to watch how you're saying things. And a lot of people are out there with good intentions. They're not saying it as part of their pitch just to sell a product. They're saying it because they honestly want to help you. But you have to understand that line.
Right. And most of those people don't know because they're just being told what their upline tells them and blah, 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 blah.
Exactly.
And so anyway, so a girl that I know, and I just recently met her too. I don't have years of friendship with her. Okay. She posted something, and having just met her earlier in the day, I reached out to her and said, having just met you, I don't think that you meant it this way. However, this is my story.
A more correct way to say.
And she's like, I am so sorry. I didn't know that. She goes, I will go ahead and remove that. Would you mind meeting with me so that I can learn?
Wow, that's awesome.
That's amazing.
Yes.
That is someone that I will continue to friend.
Of course.
Because you're not getting all defensive about nothing.
And she wants the education.
Exactly.
That's awesome.
And so that's Shannon's soapbox and reality check corner time. So what about you? How was homecoming?
It was not good.
Is that why I did not get pictures?
Oh, I can show you pictures. She looked beautiful.
I kept waiting and I was like, she's going to send them to me and we'll talk about it tomorrow.
I'm sorry. Yes. Well, she's very picky on what pictures I'm allowed to show.
Fair enough.
So she wanted to go with a date. I kept telling her, maybe you should just go with a group of friends. And then this boy asked her as a friend, but when they got to the dance, he wanted to be friendly with multiple other people. And it was making her upset because she knew they had gone as friends, but she still wanted the attention directed to her. As friends, if you and I go out, I want you to talk to me, not talk to everybody else in the room except for me.
Absolutely.
And that was just what she was expecting, and that wasn't the reality. And so she did not have as enjoyable of a time as she could have. But she looked beautiful, and my son's friend came over and did her hair and makeup, and so she got to have like that whole experience of she got her hair done, she got her makeup done, and she had bought fake nails to put on that matched her dress all pretty, and she looked beautiful. I can't believe that she's a junior, and I had happened to have found a baby picture earlier in the day of her looking through something else. And
did you cry?
I almost did, but I didn't. I held it back, but I can't believe this cute little baby is now standing here looking like a princess.
Will you cry when I die?
So, probably.
She paused! And I got a probably.
Probably. I'm not a good outside crier. Okay. I cry. Okay, so when we went for pictures, she was the only girl there whose both parents did not show up for pictures. And I cried on the way home from that. So I do cry at things. I just don't like to outwardly cry in front of people. But anyway, she looked beautiful.
I know that feeling though. And that, and if you're a single parent, you probably know that feeling also. And
yes,
it hurts.
It does. It's a helpless feeling because there's nothing you can do to make it better. Right. And she was not happy because she realized it also. She wasn't dwelling on it because she was happy to go on with her friends and have the night that she was expecting to have. But you could tell that it hurt her feelings, and then that made me upset. So I did cry on the way home from that. But she looked beautiful, and she had as good of a time as she could, even though it didn't go the way that she wanted it to go. And Friday night, I went to my first drag queen bingo because we had just talked about
talk to us about how accurate.
It was definitely an experience, but it wasn't what I was expecting. They were a lot more respectful than what I thought they would be. It was a over 21 event.
Okay.
So everyone there was of age that they could have been however they wanted to be, but they were very respectful of. So if you wanted to embarrass the person that you were with, you would hold money over their head, and then they would come over and like give them a hug or kiss them on the cheek or whatever. But if they would have walked up to you and you didn't want that, you just had to say no, and they moved on to the next person. They were not pushy but you would play a couple rounds of bingo, and then they would come out. They had played great music. You would have loved it. Great music, because each one was dressed up as Prince, one was dressed up as Cher, one was dressed up.
Prince isn't a woman. Hold it.
I know. It's okay. Hold on.
No, it's not.
It is, because I'll get to the explanation in a minute. One was dressed up as Prince, one was dressed up as Cher, one was dressed up as Stevie Nicks, and then some of them just had outrageous, amazing costumes. And so they would come out and dance to the songs and, go around and interact with people or whatever. And then it would go back to bingo for a couple of times, and then it would go to whatever. So I thought the same thing about Prince. I was like, why are we doing Prince? Blah, blah, blah. But this person looked amazing and did their act very well. And I was like, okay, I guess they just did Prince to honor Prince, whatever. So at the end of the show, this woman comes out and says, did you know that I was a woman? And we're all like, no, because she had done other costume changes where she was a woman, but you just assumed it was the whole drag experience. And so she came over and she said she had been their manager for a year, and it looked like they were having so much fun that she begged them to let her do it. And they told her no. Apparently there's something called drag king, which is women dressing up. I did not know that. But anyway, everyone told her she needed to do drag king, and she said no, she wanted to do drag queen with all of them because that's who she's been with for the past year, and she loves them and they're awesome. And so they told her to prove it, and she showed up at work the one day with costume changes and songs and did the whole routine. And that weekend they were short someone for some reason, and so they said go ahead and do it. And she's been in the show ever since then for 6 months. And
does she dress up only as guys, or she also dresses up as women?
She also dressed up as women. She does whatever she wants to do, I guess. But she was like a grandma. She had her grandson there that helped her do her makeup and approved her costumes and stuff. And it was so funny because you never expected.
Did she look like Prince?
It was a good try. Prince is hard to pull off. The outfit was right, but the face, Prince is Prince.
Was just magical.
I don't know anyone that can pull off Prince. But she did a really good job of trying it. But it was a fun experience.
Cool.
Again, the music was awesome. It was a fun experience. It was for a good organization. I don't remember the name because I'm awful whenever
it's not like it was a PTA event or
everyone knows that I am not an animal person. Like, I like animals. I hope that no one harms them, but I'm just not one of those people who are crazy about animals. So I can't remember the name of it. But all the money went to a good cause, and everyone had fun. And I just liked how very respectful they were of, if you want in on the fun, cool. And if you don't, then we're done.
That's good.
But yeah, it was a good night. So, and then Madeline had a cheer game today.
A football game?
Yeah. Well, you know what I meant. No animals, no sports. Everyone knows this about me by now. So, football game that she cheered at. There we go. And then we had Girl Scouts, and now we're here.
Nice.
So, that was that.
Did she do her cartwheel again?
She did do her cartwheel. I'll have to show you the pictures. She's grinning ear to ear after she does it. It was so cute. So.
And Megan's here.
Oh, yeah, Megan's here.
Hi.
Do you have a reality check for us?
No.
Anything
how's school going?
Good, bad, indifferent that happened?
How you liking the new school year? Yeah. Okay.
Megan's so talkative over there. Megan said she's not going to homecoming next year. I pointed out that she would be old enough to go.
Oh, yeah.
They would both be able to go next year. She said she'll be watching Netflix.
Nice.
So we'll see if she holds true to that.
Nice.
If I do, can I have $100?
No, because your dress and hair and makeup will cost well over that.
So can I have that money?
No.
She's asking if she can have that if she does not go.
Oh, instead, no.
Can I have half of it?
No. No. Nice try, though.
Mm-hmm.
All right. We're going to finish our week.
So join us on Thursday as we do part 2 of Elizabeth Weber.
Yes. So have a good week.
And we'll meet you at the pier.
Bye.
Bye.
If you enjoyed today's show, we invite you to go to pier54podcast.com to subscribe on your favorite platform. Don't forget to leave us a review.
And you can also follow us on many social media channels. Just search for Peer 54 Podcast. Also, we are not perfect, so if there is something that we missed or messed up, just let us know by emailing us at peer54podcast@gmail.com.